Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 65, 10. Indeed, one of the requirements in becoming a master teacher is to have a student's trust in him exceed 60. This is a standard prerequisite. Otherwise, they won't be qualified. Elder Mo Xiang nodded his head. 60, Elder Shang Chen couldn't help but be astonished. This level of trust is equivalent to the position of their parents in the heart of the students. Despite being together for their entire life, the trust level between parents and children were only 60. It was clear to see how difficult it would be for the relationship between a teacher and a student to reach such a level as well. It was no wonder that there wasn't a single master teacher in Tianqian Kingdom. The prerequisites were simply too harsh. If Lu Sun and Wang Chao of your academy were to maintain this standard for 30 years or so, there is a possibility of them becoming an associate master teacher. Elder Mo stroked his beard. There's no need for master teachers to do everything by themselves. Sometimes, they would delegate tasks to their assistants to help them. The role of an associate master teacher was similar to that of an apprentice. It was a path one must walk on if they intended to become a master teacher. Associate master teacher? Elder Shang Chen gasped in surprise. For them to be able to become associate master teachers, this clearly showed the standards Lu Sun and Wang Chao possessed. I wonder what the trust levels the students the both of them are guiding have towards them are, he couldn't help but ask. Throughout these years, they have garnered quite a positive reputation. Those older students whom they have guided for many years should be able to reach up to 40. However, it will be difficult for it to rise any higher. Elder Mo shook his head. Being an elder from the teacher guild, he was knowledgeable about the circumstances of many teachers. That's true. Shang Chen nodded his head. It was difficult to accrue trust and yet, it falls exceptionally easy. Oftentimes, it could be torn apart by just a small incident. If that wasn't the case, master teachers wouldn't possess such tremendous reputation. I've heard that, a genius young lady has appeared in our teacher guild. Despite being just 18 or 19 this year, she has already become a low-level associate master teacher? Upon recalling a news, Elder Shang Chen couldn't resist asking. She's the daughter of our guild leader. She is indeed a talent. Upon bringing up this person, Elder Mo stroked his beard and nodded his head in commendation. Associate master teachers could be split into low-level, intermediate level, and high-level as well. To join one of their ranks under 20 was a fearsome accomplishment, even considering the fact that she was only a low-level associate master teacher. Incredible. Upon receiving confirmation of the fact, Elder Shang Chen nodded his head in commendation. He might be the head of the Education Bureau of Hongtian Academy, but in reality, he was just a high-level teacher. He didn't have the qualifications to become a low-level associate master teacher. After which, Shang Chen didn't go on further on the topic. Instead, he looked at Zhang Xuan and Cao Xiang. Elder Mo, how much trust level do you think the both of them will receive? It's best for you to leave now. Leave Hongtian Academy and never come back. Seeing the young man standing there foolishly to await the results of the enlightenment will trial, Shen Bairu couldn't help but to walk forward and direct these words to him with a suppressed voice. In her perspective, Zhang Xuan and Shang Bin were two people from completely different worlds. If it weren't for her, there was no way the two would mix together. Such a circumstance had arisen because of her. If Zhang Xuan were to be beaten 100 times by the god-slaying flog and have his teaching license revoked, she would definitely feel guilty about his plight. You wish to leave now? It's a little too late. Seeing his goddess showing concern towards another man, Shang Bin spat out these words through gritted teeth. You don't even show the slightest concern when I am reduced to this state, and yet, you worry about this fellow who scored 0 in the teacher qualification examination. Damn it, damn it. His face turned savage and he was so angry that he might explode at any moment now. That's right, the enlightenment will trial has already begun. You wish to leave? Dream on. Cao Xiang walked forward and revealed a face of enthusiastic savagery. The results are about to be out. By then, you will understand how foolish your actions were. Are you that certain that you will achieve victory? Seeing how confident the other party was, as though the winning ticket was in his hand, Zhang Xuan shook his head and asked. He. Staring at the young man as though he was a fool, Cao Xiang sneered coldly, let me tell you the truth then. This Lu Yang was specially invited here by me. I have been living with him for half a month and our trust level should probably exceed 20. What about you? Do you think you are capable of reaching 10 points? After deceiving him over to your side from me forcefully, I think it is very possible for your score to be negative. While 0 meant no trust whatsoever, negative meant resentment. The greater the resentment, the more negative the number would be. He still clearly remembered Lu Yang's lingering and reluctant gaze when he was pulled away from him. How could someone who had guided a student to go berserk make this proud fellow concede to them? It was very probable for the relationship between the two to still be frosty, so how could Lu Yang not bear any resentment toward this fellow? Hongtian Academy is the #1 academy of Tianqian Kingdom. If a student were to really hold a trust level below that of 10 points towards his teacher will probably become a laughingstock and the event will be known across the entire kingdom. Shang Bin laughed mockingly. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Since your reputation is already as bad as it can get, there is no need for you to worry about becoming a laughingstock. You all. Seeing the two of them putting him down, Shen Bairu's angry face flushed pink. Just as she was about to refute them, she noticed that the person in question, Zhang Xuan, was still maintaining an impassive and calm face toward their insults, as though he wasn't bothered by their mocking at all. To tell the truth, Zhang Xuan really didn't care about it. These fellows can talk as much as they can now. When the result comes out in a while, it will be interesting to see them cry. The two of them. Hearing Elder Shang Chen's words, Elder Mo Xiang hesitated for a moment before deducing, this Lu Yang was recommended here by Cao Xianglashi, so his trust level towards him should be slightly higher. Even so, in my opinion, it should only be around 18 or 19. After all, 20 is a large hurdle to overcome. As for Zhang Xuan, if he truly coerced Lu Yang, then it is likely for the trust level to be negative. If the trust level turns out to be negative, Hongtian Academy will be embarrassed. At that moment, I will be depending on Elder Mo. Elder Shang Chen said. Naturally. Elder Mo's eyes were bright and stern. As an elder from the teacher guild, I will not allow such scum to appear in our midst. If it turns out to be negative, then there is no doubt that Lu Yang has been coerced into acknowledging him. I will report the incident up to the guild and adamantly push for Zhang Xuan's teaching license to be revoked. Hearing the other party's promise, Elder Shang Chen smiled. Then, his eyes twinkled and he pointed forward, look, the results are about to be out. The moment his voice sounded, the light the two crystal balls were emanating from the center of the room started to waver and gradually dim. In the Enlightenment Will trial, the person who was involved in the trial had to go through all kinds of illusory realms before they were able to make a choice from the bottom of their heart. At this instant, the fading of the light meant that he had already undergone the experiences required for the test, and the results were about to be revealed. When numbers lightly wavered into existence on the crystal ball by the left. The results are out. Misfortune is about to befall you. Seeing the numbers slowly floating into existence on the crystal ball, Cao Xiang's excited eyes gleamed. This time, not only would he be able to accept Lu Yang back under his tutelage, he would also be able to throw Zhang Xuan out and earn the favor of Shang Bin Shai. With such a pillar of support, wouldn't his future in the academy be smooth sailing? Shai is a young master. Probably, in less than a few years, he would be able to rise through the ranks successfully to become a high-level teacher. Just as he was getting excited over the scene playing in his mind, the numbers in the crystal ball finally stopped wavering, and they appeared before the crowd. His trust level in me definitely exceeds 20. Roaring, Cao Xiang hurriedly turned his attention to the crystal ball. Yet, with a glance, his excitement choked in his throat and he felt like a duck being grasped at its neck. His eyes widened to the point that they were about to fall onto the floor. This. How can this be possible? The results unfolding before him drove him to the brink of insanity. This was something he dared not to imagine. Luoyang was a student whom he personally invited over. Furthermore, the two even accompanied one another for half a month, giving rise to their close relationship. How could he possibly only hold such a level of trust towards him? The giant numbers on the crystal ball were clear and conspicuous. As though it was a long sword, it stabbed into his heart. 10. Luoyang's trust level toward him was a mere 10 points. Anything below 10 meant a lack of trust. 10 was right at the boundary, but it wasn't too far off from it. Just a moment ago, he even narcissistically boasted that the trust level would be at least 20. Yet, the result slapped him hard in his face. Is this the basis of your confidence? Zhang Xuan looked over. Cao Xiang failed to catch his breath and almost fainted on the spot. I had gone through so much trouble, traveling the distance to find you and bring you over. After which, we even spent so much time together. Yet, how can your trust level be so low? Brother, what is wrong with you? Looking at Luoyang, the thought of suicide even flashed through Cao Xiang's mind. Where is the trust? Where is the basic trust between humans?